From eastern China to the eastern Mediterranean, a highway without a British and America military presence. East China was the centerpiece of ancient China civilization, which in the new era is also considered the revivalist and driving force of China's development. This civilizational region was the starting point of the Silk Road from eastern China to the eastern Mediterranean. In fact, this road connected the present civilizations in the east and west of the global island and was the centerpiece of the interactions of human civilization for thousands of years. Britain and later American as the heir to their empire, although they were considered a marginal island and continent relative to the global island of Asia, Europe, and Africa, prevailed over the last 200 years on the global island that was normally the center of civilization and all-encompassing human interactions over thousands of years. The work came to a point where, with the collapse of the Ottoman Empire and the implementation of the Sykes-Picot map, from the Indian subcontinent and Afghanistan, which were in neighboring China and had been given to Britain before the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, to Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine, which were adjacent to the Mediterranean, all went under British and French control as a strategic ally of Britain, and the historic Silk Road, which was a highway connecting east to west, was completely under the influence of the British Empire and its ally. After World War II, the United States, as the heir to the British Empire, took over the region and its roads, placing its military forces, intelligence, and spy bases in these areas, and not allowing the Soviets to have a place in these areas. This continued until 1979, when a new chapter was formed with the victory of the Islamic Revolution and the expulsion of the United States from Iran. The U.S. expulsion from the junction point of the three continents of Asia, Europe, and Africa, or the heart of the world island, began gradually and led to the expulsion of the United States from Afghanistan not long ago. A scandalous defeat that Americans have strongly criticized Biden, who he blames for the defeat in Afghanistan, and attempts to be present in eastern Syria, and specifically the city of Al-Tanf, to prevent the formation of a strong corridor between eastern China and the eastern Mediterranean with a focus on Iran. Of course, one of the most important issues in the U.S. conflict since Trump, who insisted on returning from the Middle East and has intensified over the past few weeks, is the conflict over staying or abandon the Middle East, which is a strongly demanding movement to maintain U.S. domination in the Middle East at all cost. It also opposed Trump and would not allow the U.S. to leave the area. But Iran's strategy of expelling the United States from the region is completely certain and unchangeable, and it will be realized that the starting point was the U.S. expulsion from Afghanistan. The complete expulsion of the United States from Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria would leave the east-west highway empty of foreign and trans-regional forces for the first time in the recent 200-year history, and the natural movement of history will once again return to its original path. Whether one of the main obstacles to creating a new Silk Road was sustainable insecurity in these areas due to the presence of aliens, and by expelling them, an important step can be taken to stabilize sustainable security. In fact, the presence of Britain and the United States in this region and the dominance of the east-west roads were a historical exception, leading to widespread and enduring insecurity, ethnic, religious and geographical conflicts, massive multimillion-scale killings, lack of development and disruption of civilizational interactions. Naturally, the expulsion of the United States from these regions will promise the development and revival of Eurasian civilization and the Middle East region, and will flourish from eastern China to the eastern Mediterranean.